parents, like all down the line. How do you, like, what's been the hardest part, and how do you think you approach your healing?
Yeah, so great question, because I feel like, as we go through so much of our healing stuff, right? The hardest thing for me was just really having acceptance from my culture, community, and families, understanding what intergenerational trauma is, what trauma is in general, and how it impacts us even outside of being a child. I think that's the hardest struggle I still continue to deal with. Which again is not on me, right? It's a lot of them who don't want to make that jump to understand what's going on or why this impacts people who have been traumatized.
And I was actually talking to someone about this the other day. Oh my gosh, I forget who it was, but one of my clients, we were talking about how it's, this whole thing about the black sheep of the family. The outsider, the one who's kind of outcast, like psychologists and people in therapy, the therapy space, mental health, we know that the black sheep are the ones who are healing. Yeah. And the reason that they're, turned away from the herd is not because they're broken or because something is wrong with them. It's because many times they're like just up leveling and healing and doing things differently and being themselves. And that, people don't like to see that, in the family system. If there's a really like set way that the system works and you decide to do something different, and that's really, that's really scary. And I think a lot of people choose to not go on that journey because of the kind of way that, we might risk losing those people in our life that we've had around us, even if they've been abusive or, not wonderful. It's not just, all or nothing. There have also been wonderful times, and there's also, long memories and so it's not that easy, it's not that easy to then make the decision to say, what, I have to do this for me. And how you take that, I can't be responsible for how, you react to that.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. It's like, it's just a tradition of like centuries going down of like, well, this is how we've done it for years. Like, why change it? It's like, well, it's not really working for us. It's toxic. It's abusive. It's bringing more pain and hurt rather than healing and like freedom. Yeah. And I just, especially in being South Asian, it's so heavy in our culture, the misogyny and the patriarchy, because it's so heavy. Like they just don't want to snap out of it. And they just don't see how much damage it's doing to everybody, like men and women, children, like in between. They just don't see it. And that's the part where like the black sheep always gets the bad name, but it's like, no, they're actually the ones leading you towards freedom and healing. Like maybe we should follow them.
Yeah, like maybe we're all deserving of happiness. Like maybe we should. I totally agree. Like life is so short, and it's kind of like, why are we continuing to opt into these cycles where we struggle and we feel horrible and it doesn't feel good or aligned? And we wait until we're on our deathbed to say, oh my God, where did all the time go? I did it totally wrong. I don't have this extra time to be myself and have this life that I want, and all these things that are in your head that you don't act on. Time goes away and we don't get that back, you guys. And so if you can even increase happiness in your life by 1 extra second a day, like it's good. Do that, do it, It's so worth it, but it also means it asks of you to break old patterns and to break old cycles. And that is the work. People are like, what is the work? That is the work. Thanks for watching, you guys. If you enjoyed this, click here to check out the full podcast episode. Click here to check out our full library of podcast episodes. And don't forget to hit subscribe so you can be the first to know when we're posting new ones. I'll see you soon.